Everybody always hears about me saving up for a nice tube amp. Well, I have been. I have been saving up for a nice tube amp. But in the last month or two, I've been starting to think I should really go direct. I should have some sort of direct solution. And I started looking at the Tone King, the tri-tube preamps and stuff like that. And then I remembered these. I was looking at these a long time ago when they first came out. It was like, oh, they have new tubes in them. They have the Korg new tube. And I looked into the new tube, and it seems like it basically does the same thing as a tube. It squashes the signal. It squashes the signal and bulldozes the wave. Except these things like run at 15 volts internal instead of hundreds of volts. It's just Anyway, it's pretty neat stuff, and you listen to the demos on these things, and they sound pretty good. I went Silk Drive because I like the cab emulation on this one. It's kind of, I don't know. Anyways, the cab emulation is not good on any of the amp ones. It's not perfect like an IR or anything like that, but it's. I mean, I don't want to freaking pay for an IR loader. It'll sound like a freaking guitar. Anyways, I'm not running the chain thing where these are all always on pedals, and I got the fuel injector into the Silk Drive into the smooth impact compressor, and this even has a gain stage. See, it says tube gain right there, and then of course this has a gain stage and this has a gain stage, and each one of them has a new tube. So this has a Korg new tube, this has a new tube, and this has a new tube, and they all have gains. So I just, I'll just work it, until I get what I want out of it. But I think this is gonna swat for a direct solution. I mean, basically the cab emulation in this will go right through the compressor. It's just the frequency response that's getting fed into it. So that's how I'm gonna run it. Is this into this into this, and all of them always on. But that's what I like. It's like this is kind of like a tube screamer-ish mid push. This is like your mid push frequency. And it's like a mid push drive, like a Klon. But see, this is what I want. Is more tube sounding, because my Klon, is a germanium. It sounds kind of like tube overdrive, but it doesn't sound exactly like tube overdrive. This will sound like a freaking real tube amp, because you got the preamp stage, but it's got the mid push, and then this is kind of like a Dumble, I guess. And the only thing I don't like about Dumbles is the absence of sag until you're really, really pushing them, and then it's just a little bit. But this has there's 3 compression modes. There's vintage, normal, and sag. So I'm gonna have it on the sag. See, and then it acts like a tube amp power section sag. It's kind of what I'm imagining it would sound like. And I did hear one demo on it, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna do it. And then I get that kind of a spongy attack on, because I like that, a little bit of that. And then yeah, so I'm just gonna pop a tuner in front, and I might have to rig up something to get into a snake with this, but I don't know if those are unbalanced. I think they have unbalanced, though. I think they have unbalanced inputs on the snakes. Those 1/4-inch ones, right? Like they'll have the XLRs, and then they got all the 1/4-inch ones below that on the snake. But I don't know exactly. I got to look into that. I've never used those before ever live. It's always been, microphone or plugging into the XLR, or yeah. So, anyways, I think this is gonna freaking rock. It's a pretty compact, low voltage tube amp. I mean, it's basically like a tube amp with mid push, which is what I like. A tube amp with a mid-push drive in front of it and a compressor. That's basically my sound. That's what I go for.